Hey everyone, I am Florence Gogiran and our topic for today is all about drug abuse education and prevention. So we all know how destructive illegal drugs are in our lives, right? Just like what Donald Flynn Frost quoted, drugs take you to hell, taste as heaven. Indeed, drugs only do cause nothing but the worst in our lives, right? In this topic, we will know what these drugs are and how devastating they can in our lives, especially to those who are drowned on its links. And as a citizen and a CWTS student, what can we do to aid this growing concern? So, these drugs are chemical substances which affects a person in such a way as to bring about physiological, emotional, or behavior change. The moment a person indulge in using illegal drugs and have been addicted to it, they'll continuously use drugs despite the harm it causes that can unfortunately lead to drug abuse or drug overdose. So when we say drug abuse, this results in an individual's physical, mental, emotional, and social impairment. On the other hand, when we say drug overdose, it is the devastating result of drug addiction, meaning they are drug dependents. They can't live without drugs because they've been drowned or addicted to it. These drugs are the heaven in disguise for them, for they serve as their self-medication for hiding problems such as insecurity, self-loathing, a sense of failure, or deep and abiding depression. Meaning, they see drugs as a solution or the answer to their problems because we all know that these drugs has the ability to change someone's way of thinking in a way that it can make the users feel high or free on what they do, referred to as their heaven. The following are the general symptoms of drug abuse. So first is the abrupt changes in school or work attendance, quality of work, grades, work output, unusual flare-ups or outbreaks of temper, change in overall attitudes, deterioration of physical appearance and grooming. So these are what drug users looks like. As you can see, their physical appearance deteriorate. They don't have proper grooming and they look like bedridden or sick. It is because drugs can cause acne, dull skin, and self-inflicted wounds from picking at their face and body because they think that bugs are crawling under their skin, leaving sores and scars, and such effects that are evident harmful results of the chemical substances they take. So next is withdrawal from responsibility, furtive behavior regarding actions, wearing of sunglasses to hide dilated or constricted pupils. So one telltale sign that someone is abusing certain drugs is dilated pupils. So on this picture, as you can see, when the pupils dilate, they are enlarged because some substances trigger the body's fight adrenaline response that leads pupil to expand. On the other hand, opioids tend to stimulate the parasympathetic nerve and cause the constricted pupils. Association with drug abusers, unusual borrowing money from parents or friends, and stealing small items. So as what I've said earlier, that drug users cannot control their way of thinking and they tend to continuously crave for it, that they'll reach these situations where they'll sell the things they own or even steal just for them to have drugs and satisfy themselves. So now let's get to know the various kinds of commonly abused drugs. So first are the hallucinogens, or also known as psychedelics. So these are drugs that are capable of provoking changes or cessation of thinking, self-awareness, and emotion. So it means that these drugs can alter the way we think by means of cessation of thinking. That means that the unwanted thoughts, such as their problems, are suppressed or disrupt negative thinking patterns that can redirect our thoughts to something that helps relieve distress. That's why people under the influence of these seem far away and experience a bad or high trip. And also, they might act paranoid, alternately screaming and acting catatonic. So when we say catatonic, they have abnormality in their movement and behavior. So the popular or prominent hallucinogens are LSD, marijuana, PCP or angel dust, mescaline, and ecstasy. So next are the stimulants, also known as uppers or pep pills. So these are class of drugs that speed up messages traveling between the brain and body that can make a person feel more awake, alert, confident, or energetic. Also reduce hunger and provide well-being. Moreover, these are also highly addictive. And the most common stimulants are amphetamines, cocaine. So next are depressants or also known as the downers. So these are drugs which decrease or depress body functions and nerve activity because they potentially affect the central nervous system that causes the slowing down of messages between the brain and body that can furthermore affect concentration and coordination and slow down a person's ability to respond to unexpected situations. These drugs are also known as tranquilizers, which keep people from having panic attacks, anxiety, and insomnia. Tacrolimus, Valium, and Halicon are the commonly used depressants. So next are the narcotics. So these are drugs that produce insensitivity, stupor or unresponsiveness, melancholy or dullness of mind with delusions. It is because they are consist of numbing and paralyzing properties. In fact, these drugs are only used for pain that is severe, known as painkiller, that when it is used carefully and under a healthcare provider's direct care, they can be effective at reducing pain. But when abused, they can be the most deadly drugs of all. So the most popular narcotics are opium, heroin, codeine, and morphine. So next are the volatile solvents or inhalants. So these are chemicals that when sniffed or inhaled into the lungs, the toxic chemicals pass into the blood system and to the brain, which causes the mind-altering effects that can produce intoxication, excitement, dulling of the brain, and irritational behavior. Chemical inhalants include rugby, gasoline paint, kerosene, airplane glue, nail polish, acetone, and lighter fluid. Sometimes we find ourselves wondering, why do people turn to drugs even if they already know how devastating these are? So here, we're going to find out the probable reasons why do people turn to drugs. So teenagers resort to drugs for a variety of reasons. So first is for curiosity, due to misinformation and for the sake of what they call experience. And also the pakikisama, so as to be accepted by the barkada and to have a feeling of security, for relief from problems personal, family, school, work, and others, and to escape boredom and other problems. It is really alarming to know that drug abuse adversely affects our most precious resource, the Filipino youth. Hence, the Philippine government through the Dangerous Drug Board has taken the initiative to prevent the menace and widespread of this social epidemic that will destroy the lives and aspirations of our youth. And we as a CWTS students can also help to stop the prevalence of this serious matter by implementing activities involving young people, civic group professionals, and religious organizations such as parent education programs, recreational, social, and sports programs, vocational or skills development and training programs, youth development program, and seminar on drug education. And in our community, together with the community leaders that have particular advocacy to prevent drug abuse, in order to improve our community lives, we should participate and assist in the implementation of RA 6425, also known as the Dangerous Drug Act of 1972, by first motivating the non-drug abusers to undergo treatment and rehabilitation, and reporting drug pushers, then maintainers, drug traffickers to the law enforcement agencies, encouraging and supporting the establishment of community guidance clinics for drug users, helping aftercare rehabilitated clients to be accepted back to their community and involving them in meaningful and productive activities, and helping strengthen the moral and spiritual values of the discharged clients. And both us CWTS students and parents can help to prevent the prevalence of drug abuse if we create a warm and friendly atmosphere in the home, assist parents to develop effective means of communication with their children, for the children to be open and honest to their parents, and help parents learn how to understand and accept their children for who they are, assist parents on how to listen and respect the opinion of their children, motivate parents to develop strategies on how to be with their children in spite of being busy, educate parents on how to strengthen the moral and spiritual values of their children, and assist parents on how to teach responsibility to their children by giving duties commensurate to their age. As what Dr. Jose Rizal said, kabataan ang pag-asa ng bayan. That's why we Filipino youth should be the source of light, not the cause of plight.